everybody, Lilith here, welcome back. Today we're playing Prescription Love. I didn't get to see much of the description or who made the game, but we'll most likely show it. Okay. Before I start reading, all I know is that this is about a Yandere doctor who I think he's giving us pills or he's like drugging us so we keep forgetting or something, and he basically takes care of us. Oh, okay, so the right click is save. A sharp blinding light pierces through my eyelids as I slowly open my eyes. My limbs feel heavy and unresponsive, as if the bed has become a part of me. What? I squint, trying to make sense of my surroundings, but everything's a blur. The sterile smell of disinfectant biting at my nose. The rhythm, beeping of machines fill the room like a metronome. I look around disoriented, my vision slowly coming into focus. I'm lying in bed, covered in crisp white sheets, and there's something strapped to my arm. An IV line? What's this doing in my arm? Were I in an accident or something? As I come to, there's a deep throbbing ache in my head that feels like it's about to split my skull from the inside. Why am I? My thoughts are fragmented, disoriented, like pieces of a puzzle scattered in every direction. My chest tightens as the realization hits me. I can't remember anything. This is the part where I mean, like, I think, based on what bits I read from the description, I think he's, like, drugging us so we keep forgetting our memory or something. What happened to me? Why can't I remember anything? I close my eyes, hoping for some fragment of memory to return. Think. Just think. Nothing. My breathing quickens, my hand clutching the sheets in fear. How can I not remember anything? Why is everything blank? Every effort to remember ends with nothing. Just a void where my memory should be. I try to sit up, but a sharp pain shoots through my head, and I collapse back onto the pillow. My heart pounded in my ears, drowning out the faint beeping of the machines. I feel my anxiety threatening to swallow me whole when suddenly a calm, steady voice cuts through the chaos swirling in my head. Hey, it's okay. His voice was gentle, but there was a firmness to it, pulling me from the brink of panic. I slowly turned my head towards the voice of towards the source of the voice. Towards the voice of the voice. A tall man stands beside my bed. Whoa, he looks so pretty. Bro looks yassified. He's tall, but there's nothing intimidating about him. Imitating. What? Sorry about my reading skills. I think I have a lisp or something. I don't know. His hair looks a little messy, like he's been here for a while. Take a deep breath. Has he been here the entire time? Do you know where you are? No. I shake my head slowly, feeling tears prick at the corner of my eyes. Everything felt unfamiliar, terrifying. The walls were too bright, too sterile. Yeah, hospitals are usually like that. Hey, it's alright, you're in the hospital. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you here. And whatever the description says otherwise, buddy. Especially not with me around. Like I said before, description. The most important thing right now is that you're awake and talking. I take a deep breath, feeling the tightness in my chest trying to start to loosen. Oh my god, what's wrong with my tongue today? His words were meant to comfort, and they did in a way. But they also left me with questions. So many questions that my head felt even heavier than before. Do you remember your name? Oh right, my name. What was my name again? Lilith is my name. Lilith. My name's Lilith. Fantastic, that's a very good start. Oop, I just hit the save. Might as well save, man, because I don't know if a choice is coming up. Fantastic, that's a very good start. I should introduce myself. I'm Dr. Anselm. I hope I pronounce that correctly, because I suck with names. Like, if I don't hear someone introduce themselves and say their name, I'm gonna like mispronounce the hell out of it in my head. Like this one time, instead of saying like the Rengoku guy from Demon Slayer, I kept pronouncing his name Ragnarok, and oh my god, when I told my cousin, I had such a secondhand embarrassment for myself. I'm Dr. Anselm. Anselm? I hope I pronounced it. Please be pronouncing it right. I was in charge of your surgery and have been overseeing your care since you were brought in. Surgery? I had surgery? What the heck happened to me? Yeah, you were brought in with a traumatic brain injury. You were admitted with a skull fracture leading to internal bleeding and swell of the brain. Emergency surgery was crucial to relieve the pressure on your brain. Oh god. I stare at him, unable to process the magnitude of what he was saying. Brain surgery? I had brain surgery? My stomach twists at the thought. It was a very delicate procedure, but you came through it well. Since then, I've been monitoring you very closely, waiting for you to wake up. You've been unconscious for a little over 2 days. Oh my god. The idea that I've been under his care all this time, that he's been watching over me while I was unconscious, is both strange and oddly comforting. If a random hot guy that was my doctor said he's been watching over me while I was unconscious, I'm gonna be both concerned and like, don't nurses, cause like he's wearing a doctor's outfit, so I would feel more comfortable if you were a woman, buddy. 'Cause I don't trust a random stranger with me being unconscious, and unless we're best friends, buddy. It's both strange and oddly comforting. Okay. I know this is a lot to take in, but I promise you're in good hands. I can see it in the way he spoke, the careful way he monitored my reactions, as if he was measuring every word to avoid overwhelming me. With the initial shock of my situation beginning to settle, a pressuring question rises to the forefront of my mind. Do you know what happened to me? Did someone do this to me? For the first time, I saw a flicker of uncertainty in his expression. I'm afraid I don't have the answers to that. You were found unconscious and brought in by paramedics. From what I can tell, the significant impact suggests a forceful blow, or possibly a fall. Unfortunately, I don't have any more details beyond that. There were no witnesses. The people who found you didn't see what happened. They found you lying unconscious on the floor and called for help. A chill runs down my spine as his words sink in. No witnesses. The blank space in my memory suddenly feels much larger and darker. This must be a sick joke. So, no one knows how I ended up like this? I wish I had more information for you. Sometimes with injuries like this, the memory can be slow to return, or it may never come back at all. Oh god, that's like really depressing and awful. But what's important is that we focus on your recovery. Why did everything go dark? I swallowed hard, the knot in my throat tightening. The idea that no one knows what happened, that even I don't know what happened. Will I ever get justice? Something deep inside of me boils. Frustration, anger, and fear. But then I look at Dr. Anselm. Oh my god. I'm just gonna search up how to pronounce this guy's name because I don't want to embarrass myself on the internet.
Dr. Anselm. Dr. Anselm.
Anselm. Okay. But then I look at Dr. Anselm. The genuine concern and kindness in his eyes, I simply felt safe. Yeah, I don't trust him, man. He's been here since the beginning, watching over me, guiding my care. Even though he doesn't have all the answers, he's still here, ready to help me. Thank you for everything. I don't even know how to begin to thank you. A slight blush rises to his cheeks, catching me off guard. He looks really adorable, but still, I don't fully trust you, buddy. He waved a hand dismissively, clearly flustered. Oh, don't be silly. You don't owe me anything, Lilith. I'm just glad I can help. Really, I don't know how to express how grateful I am. You're too kind. This is blushy. He glances away for a moment, gathering himself before turning back to me. I'm just doing my job. Watching you recover, that's more than enough for me. Whatever happens, or whatever happened, I'm going to do everything I can to help you through it. I take a deep breath, feeling a little steadier than before. I could feel the sincerity behind his words, his modesty almost endearing. The way he said my name, it wasn't clinical or detached. It made me feel like I was more than just a patient to him. Well, I mean, he is a yandere obsessed with us, so most likely we're very important to him. Dr. Anselm takes a step back, giving a reassuring nod. I think it's best if you try to get some rest now. Your body still needs time to heal. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? I managed to grab his attention before he turned away. Wait, can I contact my family? Just to let them know I'm okay? They haven't heard from me in days. I'm sure I must have worried them. A pang of uneasy hit me. Why hasn't anyone visited me? We're probably kidnapped. Oh, well, I'm afraid it's past the hospital's curfew. I can't make any calls at this hour, but don't worry, I'll make sure you get in touch with them first thing in the morning. The thought of waiting until morning feels like an eternity. Are you sure? I mean, like, he said we were unconscious for 2 days, so we're most likely not tired, and I'm surprised we're not dehydrated or we need any food right now. Like, jeez. Are you sure? I know it's the hospital's rule, but the disappointment was heavy in my voice. He sighed and gently placed a hand on my head. I know it's hard, but right now the best thing you could do is focus on getting a good night's rest. His hand rested there for a moment longer before he pulled away. Your body's been going through a lot, and rest is crucial for your recovery. I promise, as soon as this morning, we'll make those calls. Your family will be the first to know. Okay. I murmured, unsure but too tired to argue. How are we tired if we just woke up from a 2-day coma? Just try to relax now. The severity of my situation still lingers, but there's also a sense of exhaustion settling over me, pulling at my eyelids and making my body feel heavy. Maybe he's right. Maybe rest is exactly what I need right now. Alright, I'll go to bed now. Thank you, Dr. Anselm. His eyes twinkled softly. You're welcome. If you need anything, don't hesitate to press the call button. Rest well. We'll talk a lot more in the morning. With that, he turns away quietly and leaves the room. Oh. Closing the door softly behind him. I'm left alone with my thoughts and the steady beep of the heart monitor beside me.
Dr. Ansel.
I'm left alone with my thoughts, the steady beeping. Oh, I already read that. The room feels quiet and still, but there's a sense of safety knowing that help is just a button press away. I close my eyes, trying to focus on my breathing, letting the sounds of the hospital fade in the background. The weight of the day presses down on me, and slowly, as I drift off, I hold on to the hope that tomorrow will bring more answers, and finally, the sound of a familiar voice, saving just in case. My sleep was suddenly interrupted. A soft creak that echoed through the room. My eyes fluttered open, but I was too groggy to fully register the sound. Was that my imagination? I groaned internally. I can't be bothered. I shifted in bed, wanting to go back to sleep, letting my eyes close again, eager to sink back into sleep. But then I heard it again, a slow, deliberate creak like someone was gently pushing the door. Still half asleep, I tried to ignore it. That's not what you do in these situations. I mean, like, maybe because, like, we don't know that he's a yandere yet, but like, if I heard my door creaking at night, I would wake the hell up and be like, what the hell, is my house haunted? Because I would not register that a guy would be stalking me. I'm not stalkable. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe the nurses were checking in. I reasoned, forcing myself to relax. I squeezed my eyes shut and tried to force myself back to sleep. But that sense of unease started creeping in. I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. Probably because you aren't alone, buddy. Something doesn't feel right. With a groggy sigh, I forced my eyes open again and glanced at the door. That's when I saw them. Oh god. This is gonna be a creepy image. Oh god. What is that? Are those eyes? I can't see clearly because my room is very bright. A pair of eyes. They were peering at me through the gap in my door. The eyes almost blending into the shadowy gap, but there's no mistaking them. They were watching me. Threaten? Call out? Do nothing. Oh my god. Like, hey, who's there? And that way, they'll know that we saw them, but if we oh god. I do nothing. I'm just gonna, like, because if we pretend we didn't see them, but we so obviously opened our eyes, and I don't know if we sat up. This is freaking. I'm a call out. Hello? No response. They continue to stare, unblinking. Oh god, that's so creepy. As if they were studying me, waiting for something. Ew. It's even worse. I squint, trying to focus on the narrow gap of the door. I can't make sense of what's happening. Was someone actually watching me? Am I imagining things? Oh! Ew! What the Please stop breathing in my ear. Nope. Then, in a moment of clarity, I remember the call button beside my bed. It was right there, within reach. My lifeline to help. I fumbled for it, reaching with my hands. With my trembling hands, my fingers finally finding the button. Hurry the hell up and call for help. The instant I pressed it, the eyes vanished. Oh god. One moment they were there, the next they were gone, as if they never existed. I'm saving, just in case. I don't wanna, die. One moment they were there, and the next they were gone, as if they never existed. This is freaking me out. I quickly sat up in my bed, staring at the door. The gap was not empty. I I listened carefully and then I heard it. The soft sounds of footsteps, light and hurried, moving away down the hall. My pulse quickens, my mind reeling from what just happened. Within seconds, Dr. Anselm enters the room. I came as fast as I could. I'm trying to see if the shape of the eyes and the mouth were the same as his face. They were more shorter, I think, but I feel like it was him. His eyes immediately swept the room, searching for some unseen threat. I can see concern in his expression as he turned to me. Is everything alright? You pressed the call button. I think it was him because, like, see how full, like, if he was in the shadow, the lips and the eyes look exactly identical to the other creep that was watching us. Did something happen? So I saw eyes staring at me, and they vanished the moment I pressed the button. He walked over to the door, glanced into the hallway before turning back at me. There doesn't seem to be anyone here. Anyone there. You know, sometimes when we're exhausted, we see things that aren't really there. But we were asleep for like 2 whole days. How are we exhausted? It's not unusual, especially when under a lot of stress. I shook my head. No, I'm sure of what I saw. They were right there. I even heard footsteps leaving after I pressed the button. Don't worry, I have someone check the security cameras to see if anyone was in the hall. For now, try to get some rest. Like, excuse me? Like, if I saw someone staring at me through darkness, I would not be able to sleep unless I had, like, some type of weapon next to me. I promise nothing's going to happen to you. He gave me a reassuring smile before leaving, but I could see the uncertainty in his eyes. As the door closed, I lay back down. I glanced at the door, half expecting to see those eyes again. I knew I won't be able to sleep now, not after what I saw. Exactly, that's what I mean. Nightlight, please, I want a nightlight. Before I knew it, morning had arrived. I must have fell asleep somehow, despite the restless uneasy from the night before. I would F up my sleep schedule for that. Sleep during the morning, stay awake all night. F it. We'll do like FNAF 4. It'll be like Chris Afton or CC Afton, or I don't know how. He has so many freaking names. I still feel exhausted. A soft glow of sunlight filtered into the room. As I blink against the blindness, I realized that Dr. Anselm was right beside me. Good morning, Lilith. How are you feeling? I'm okay. Even as I said it, a deep weariness tugged at me. Before I go to the next one, if my voice sounds weird, sorry. I have like I'm a bit sick. But I didn't want to worry him. He always seemed so concerned, so invested in my recovery. Yandere. The last thing I wanted was to add to his burden. I mean, technically, he's still a doctor in a hospital. About last night, security couldn't find anything from last night's recording. His words hung in the air. Yeah, because that was you. I know it was you with the same eyes and lip shape. What? Those eyes? Had it really been all in my head? No, it was not in your head. Just a fragment of my... Oh my god. I hate when they make the MCs so dumb. I mean, like, I'm very invested in this, and I love the art style, and so far the story's pretty good. I'm just saying, I hate when they make us dumb and naive just for the Yandere to kidnap us at the end. But I do hope you managed to get some sleep. I hesitated, unsure of how to respond. Let go, insist. If I keep insisting, that might make him angry, be like, shit. I need to be more careful when spying on them. But if we let it go, we're gonna see the eyes again, and then we're just gonna be like freaking traumatized every time we try to go to sleep. I'm gonna insist. Oh! What is this battle music? Is he the boss? My breath hissed. And anger flared in my chest. Are you serious? Oh. Ow! I feel bad already. I snapped, my voice loud and harsher than I meant. I could feel the frustration boil over, too intense to hold back. There was someone there, Dr. Ansel. I wasn't imagining it. I can feel them watching me. And you're telling me there's no proof? How am I supposed to sleep knowing there's that creep still in this building? Dr. Ansel looks sad. Like my reaction. Okay, I feel like we just effed ourselves. He opened his mouth to say something, but no words came out for a moment. The silence between us grew thick with tension. I'll talk to them again later. His voice softer now, as though my anger had deflated him. I promise I'll dig deeper into this. I don't want you feeling unsafe. He paused. A quiet sadness in his eyes that I can't fully understand. I feel bad, but you can't stare at someone while they're trying to go to sleep. And that was like very creepy. You're right. I'll make sure they take a closer look. Trying to focus on something else, I reminded him about the call you promised last night to my family. Of course, I remembered. I promised, and I always keep my promises. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a hospital phone, handing it over to you. Here you go, let's get that call made. I eagerly take the phone. I dial the familiar numbers and press the phone to my ear. The phone rings once, then twice, and keeps ringing. I wait, holding my breath, but no one answers. Just the persistent sound of the ringtone, and then finally...
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Seriously? I feel like a sinking feeling in my gut as the call goes to the answering machine. I lower the phone. I can't hide the disappointment on my face. I didn't even try to mask it. No one answered. Dr. Anselm placed a comforting hand on my shoulder, grounding me to the present. His touch was warm and comforting. I looked up. His expression mirrored the sadness I felt. Is he one of those yanderes that like copies your emotions because they don't have any? I'm sorry. This is kind of effed up that he's a doctor, because he probably knows, like, if he ends up kidnapping us and locking us up in a basement, he knows how to remove our limbs without murdering us. Because he's a freaking doctor. I know how much you wanted to speak to them. Maybe they're all busy. Maybe they're busy is all. Don't worry. I started trying to push the disappointment. Yeah, you're right. I tried to sound convincing, but the emptiness lingered. Dr. Anselm gently took the phone from me, his fingers brushing against mine. I know it's not the news you were hoping for, but I have something that might cheer you up. Before I could respond, he stood up, the shift in energy catching me off guard. With that, he steps out the room for a moment. Something for me. Whatever he had planned, I hope it would help take my mind off everything. Even if just for a little while. He returns carrying a tray with a delicious aroma wafting through the air. Oh, what is this upbeat music? Are we at an arcade now? Ta-da! When he sets it down in front of you. Oh, I look at the plate. Eggs and bacon arranged in a smiley face. Oh my god! That's adorable. My eyes widen in surprise. A small smile tugged at my lips. I can't help but smile back at it. Aw, this is adorable. It's like my breakfast is cheering me on. Dr. Anselm chuckles, looking quite pleased with himself. Eggs and bacon are good for the soul. With the smiley That's for the spirit. Why are you blushing? Dr. Ansel watches me closely as I pick up my fork. His eyes gleam with quiet anticipation. I'm serious. As I lift the fork to my mouth, I notice a smooth gleam sauce pooling at the bottom of the pan, hidden beneath the food. Feeling intrigued, I scoop some up with my next bite. Oh. The moment it hits my tongue, the flavor deepens. Rich, creamy, hollandaise sauce? I hope I pronounced that right. With a hint of tang that perfectly balances the savory bacon and eggs. The sauce evaluates the meal in a way I hadn't expected. This is amazing! I'm almost out of disbelief at how delicious this simple meal is. I take it the smiley face is working its magic. Did you drug us? Cause like, why is the room shiny? Definitely. But the taste, that's what's really winning me over. The hollandaise sauce adds this smooth, almost buttery richness. There's a big grin on Dr. Anselm's face. He's clearly pleased with my reaction. I thought the sauce might be a nice surprise. Adds a little something extra to bring it all together. You weren't kidding. I take another bite, savoring the way the creamy sauce cuts through the richness of the bacon. You could serve this at a restaurant. I've never had breakfast like this in a hospital before. Well, just wanted to make sure your first meal felt special. I paused looking at this plate again, then back at him. Wait, did you make this? He nods, looking a little embarrassed. A soft blush creeps on to his cheeks as he looks down at the fork for a moment before meeting your eyes. Oh my god, he can cook! Yes, I did. I know hospital food isn't exactly known for being, well, gourmet. Well, that's because they put, like, I believe they put proper nutrition that your body needs, and they don't put, like, spices and sauce like that like a restaurant would, because they're supposed to, like, help you digest easier, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I haven't had hospital food. I didn't want your first meal to be survival food. I smiled at his clear embarrassment, noticing the way he fidgets slightly, like he's not used to this kind of attention. Well, you really outdid yourself. What was that? Thank you, Dr. Ansel. I really appreciate how much you do to make me feel comfortable despite everything. It's like you always know how to make things better. Oh my god. I watch him flush at the comment. This time he seems almost bashfully proud, a mix of shyness and happiness sparkling in his eyes. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. I'll always make sure you're comfortable as possible while you're here. Hearing that it's helping, that it makes a difference. It means a lot to me. So really, thank you for saying that. Your genuine happiness really shone through. It was clear that my compliment had brightened up his day in a way that went beyond more politeness. As I'm about to finish the last bite of breakfast, my eyes drift to the cup of coffee sitting quietly on the tray. I hadn't noticed it the whole time I was enjoying my breakfast. Black, steaming, and inviting. I reached for the cup, taking a tentative sip. I instantly pause. It's rich, smooth, with just the right hint of bitterness. It's not just good, it tastes exactly like the coffee I made. Not even close, not similar, exactly. Wait. This tastes exactly like the coffee I make every morning. How is that even possible? I don't... Yandere! Buddy, what's with your eyes? What are your eyes doing there? That's a weird face. His voice barely above a whisper. So quiet that I almost wonder if I'd imagine it. He's standing there, his usual calm demeanor in place. But there's something different in the way he watches me. What was that? The words slipping out before he could stop them. He just smiles, a warm, casual smile. Like nothing out of the ordinary. Oh my god. His crazy side's coming out. Oh? Really? I narrow my eyes, still processing the shock. No one ever gets it right the first time. Not the exact strength or balance of flavors. I take another slow sip, almost searching for a flaw, but there isn't one. This is spot on. Maybe I'm just good at reading people. Okay, buddy. Get the hell out of my room. Give me a nurse. His tone light, like he's just making conversation, but his words send a shiver down my spine. Though I can't quite pinpoint why. Either that or you got some kind of sixth sense. It's kind of uncanny. I shake my head, trying to clear my thoughts. Am I overthinking this? I mean, it is just coffee. There's no need to make a big deal out of it. He's made me breakfast, not to mention been nothing but kind to me. Why am I doubting him? It's just a harmless coincidence. It has to be. He chuckles, the sound light and breezy. Let's call it a lucky guess. You just struck me as someone who enjoys strong coffee. But I'm glad I could make something just right for you. His words are... Oh, the room's back to normal. I guess we stopped being suspicious of him. His words are genuine. I suddenly feel guilty for letting my mind wander like that. He's been so considerate. Maybe I'm reading too much into things. I take another sip of coffee, feeling the warmth spread through me. There's no way he meant anything strange by it. I think to myself while relaxing a bit. He's just trying to make my stay a little more bearable, going above and beyond because he cares. I shouldn't doubt him. He's done nothing but try to help me. As I set the cup down, I glance back at Dr. Anselm, who's watching with that same gentle smile. The warmth of the coffee lingers on my tongue. The unsettling thoughts fade into the background. Thanks, Dr. Anselm. It does make a difference. You're very welcome, Lilith. As he glances at his watch, his expression shifts ever so slightly. You should probably get some rest now. He says as though he's reminding me of something important. You've had a long morning. It's important you don't overexert yourself. I'm fine. Dr. Anselm smiles, but there's a firmness in his gaze that makes it clear he's not going to entertain any arguments. I know you're strong, but you still need time to heal. Pushing yourself won't help. He steps closer, his hand lightly brushing the edge of the blanket as he adjusts it over my legs. There's a tenderness in his gesture, something careful and deliberate. You need to take it easy. An unexpected wave of fatigue hits me, leaving me more tired than He drugged us again. Whoa, am I experiencing the effects of a food coma? I think he either spiked the coffee or something else was in that special sauce he made us. I sigh, feeling the pull of drowsiness become harder to resist. As if sensing my thoughts, he offered me a reassuring smile. I'll be back to check on you later. Yeah, we were definitely drugged. With that, he gently leaves the room, closing the door gently behind him. I'm probably having a food coma. Dr. Anselm did say I need lots of rest. I close my eyes, nuzzle my face against the blankets. Imagine if we're just in his house and he has a fake hospital room and a fake hospital hallway and he's just tricking us. Time slips by. I'm finally awake from my peaceful nap. I rub my eyes, trying to shake off the drowsiness. Something catches my attention. Oh god, is it the eyeballs again? The door to my room is slightly ajar. Why is the door left open like that? Was it? No, I'm sure I saw Dr. Anselm close the door before he left. Was somebody watching me sleep? The sight of the particularly open door leaves me feeling on edge. I feel vulnerable, exposed. I sit up, heart thudding in my chest, trying to rationalize the situation. Maybe it's nothing, maybe? Suddenly the door creaks open wider. A figure steps into the room. It's Dr. Anselm. Knock knock. Smiling warmly, holding a clipboard in one hand and a small tray with medicine in the other. I'm here for your checkup and medication. He noticed the fear etched on my face. You look terrified. What's wrong? With my heart still racing, I quickly explained. I was taking a nap when I woke up, the door to my room slightly open. It reminded me about what I saw last night. His face changed slightly. Oh my god. To one of guilt. His gaze drops to the floor. What is this music? I like it, but like, this is randomly opening. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lilith. I mean, this music is a bit too loud, but I like it. I came in earlier to clear away the tray and utensils from your breakfast. I saw you were sleeping, so I tried to leave quietly to not disturb your peace. I must not have shut the door tightly. I'm really sorry. I must have been frightening for you. I glanced over and realized he was right. The breakfast tray is gone. I haven't even noticed in my initial panic. Oh. A sense of embarrassment creeps in as I realize I may have overreacted. No, I'm sorry, Dr. Anselm. I think last night left me feeling a little paranoid is all. He shakes his head. No need to apologize. Completely understandable to feel uneasy. I should have been more careful. Your comfort and peace of mind are very important. I'm sorry for disturbing that. Thank you, Dr. Anselm. I guess I just need some time to adjust. Another thing, why haven't any nurses checked up on us? Because doctors only come in to just give us our diagnosis and how long we'll be staying, while the nurses, you know, give us the medicine, give us the food, check in on us, possibly help us change into our street clothes or something, or help us walk to the bathroom. Of course. He moves in closer to check my vitals. Let's get your checkup done, shall we? You're a bit too close there, buddy. I promise I'll make sure to close the door properly next time. He places the tray of medicine on the small table next to me. My eyes fall on the pills. So many pills. What are these for? He lifts a small plastic cup, shakes it lightly, making the pills inside rattle softly. Oh, they're painkillers and antibiotics. Given your injury, it's expected that you'll still feel headaches and occasional bouts of pain. The painkillers will help you recover comfortably while you're here. He pauses for a moment before adding, leaning back slightly as if considering the best way to explain. And these? Now these? He holds up a larger white and red pill between his fingers, are a bit stronger. Narcotics and analgesic. It's a potential painkiller used for intense pain, so don't be alarmed if you find yourself feeling more sleepy than you. They're sleeping pills! He's trying to roofie us! He points at the antibiotic, ensuring you're following along, then continues. Since I had to perform surgery on you, there's always a risk of infection, and I wouldn't want that happening to you. These will help minimize the risk and ensure your recovery stays on track. I see. I feel more at ease with the explanation. Thank you for taking the time to explain it to me. Of course. It's important for you to understand your treatment. If you have any questions or concern, please don't be hesitant to ask. Your recovery is my top priority. Speaking of recovery, a question sits heavy on my chest. How long do you think I'll take to make a full recovery? He lets out a gentle sigh before responding. Well, honestly, it's hard for me to say for sure. We can't push or predict exactly how long it'll take. Some people heal faster than others, but when it comes to the brain, patience is key. It could take weeks or even months. Seeing the concern on my face, he quickly adds with a soft smile. I know it's not easy to hear. With injuries, especially one like yours, we have to be patient. I need to ensure you can get back to your daily life safely. When you're ready to leave, I notice a hint of sadness in his eyes when he mentions the possibility of me leaving. It's a fleeting expression, but I caught it. Then, just as quickly he brushes off, his professional demeanor returning, offering the same reassuring smile, although it seems a bit forced this time. As always, your recovery is what's most important right now. No matter how long it takes, I can't shake the feeling there's more behind his words. Still, I decide not to press further. Dr. Anselm quickly changes the subject. Let's get you settled in with some dinner, shall we? He steps over to a small cart lifting a bowl. Like I said, imagine if we're just at his house and he has a hospital room or something. And like every time we remember who we are, he probably like drugs us with that red and white pill. He steps over to a small cart lifting a bowl with a lid. What? He sets it down in front of me and lifts the cover to reveal a bowl of plain porridge. Compared to the delicious breakfast he made earlier, the porridge looks a bit bland. I can't help but feel a twinge of disappointment. He chuckles at your reaction. I'm sorry, it's not quite the same as breakfast, is it? I can't always be spoiling you. Porridge is good for you. It's gentle on the stomach and easy to digest. I understand the need for a simple meal even though it's not as appetizing. He gives me an encouraging smile as I pick up the spoon. Who knows, maybe I'll surprise you with another special breakfast soon. I can't help but smile. I'll hold you on to that. The taste may be bland, but the warmth and care behind it makes it a comforting meal. After finishing the porridge, I start to feel the heaviness. He drugged us again, so it was the food. Also, I just want to say, it would be freaking hilarious that, like, if he tries flirting with us and we just randomly say, like, sorry, dude, I'm interested in ladies. And then he's like, oh, does he let us go, or does he, like, get surgery to change into a chick? Must be the medications kicking in. I struggle to keep my eyelids open. Dr. Anselm, always observant, noticed my struggle to stay awake. Let me take this away so you can get a good night's rest. Can you stop drugging us, man? Please? Isn't it bad for the body to be drugged with sleep medication every freaking day? He moves quietly, carefully gathering the dish and tray. Okay, but you'll be back in the morning, right? Buddy, we're just asking you if you're gonna make the breakfast. Why, of course! I'll be here in the morning to check on you. Sweet dreams, Lilith. Alright. As the room dims, I hear him softly shutting the door behind him. A simple assurance that the room is secure and safe. With the door closed, I finally allow myself to sleep. And then we're gonna find it open. The world around me fades. With my eyes open again, I'm not in my room. I'm standing in a narrow alleyway. So he probably kidnapped us here, drugged us, and has a fake hospital room in his freaking mansion or basement or whatever. The air is thick, hazy, making it hard to see much of anything. I start walking, my footsteps barely making a sound in the eerie quiet. Something about this place feels familiar, almost like I've been here before, but I can't quite put my finger on it. When we wake up, you better not say shit to this doctor, because like he's gonna give us a drug so we could forget. The more I move, the more the sensation gnaws at me, tugging at something deep in my mind. Then it clicks. I'm dreaming. The realization brings a strange comfort, but also a deep confusion. Why does this place seem so familiar? It's probably our house or something. I keep walking, looking for an exit, but the alley stretches endlessly before me. No doors, no windows, no one else in sight. Suddenly I hear extra footsteps echoing behind me. I'm not alone. My heart skips a beat. Just as I'm about to turn around... Oh my god, buddy! Please step back! My eyes snap open and I awake. Yo! Step back! I'm gonna save. I'm immediately greeted by the sight of Dr. Anselm's face. Inches away from... Buddy! Step back! We both yelp at the same time, startled. He jumps back so fast he nearly knocks over the tray beside my bed. His eyes are wide with shock as he looks flustered as I feel. Buddy, how does that make you flustered? He's your doctor. He's supposed to be a professional. If a doctor flirts with you and then you find him face right in front of you, oh my god, I'm suing the hospital. His eyes are wide with shock as he looks as flustered as I feel. My heart's still pounding in my chest, not just from that dream, but from having him this close to my face. I open my mouth, but no words come out, feeling shy under his gaze. My words feel heavy and misplaced. Oh my god! Girly, as long as you don't tell him anything about your dream and that you're slowly remembering your life, we're good. As if this only makes this moment more awkward. Sorry, he stammers, quickly standing upright. I didn't mean to scare you. I watch his hands fidget nervously. I was just checking your vitals. You look so peaceful and all. It's okay. I mumble, cheeks warm. Suddenly I'm unable to look directly at him. The room suddenly feels too small. There's a moment of silence before he quickly recovers. So how was your sleep? It was weird, actually. I had this dream about an alley. Oh my god. You told him he's gonna drug you now! Something flickers across his face. A slight shift in his expression, like he's suddenly paying extra attention. An alleyway? What happened? I shrug, still he's gonna drug us to forget! What are you doing? I was just walking and then I heard footsteps behind me. Like someone was following me. But I woke up before I could turn around. He listens carefully. Eyes focusing on me like he's considering something. There's a moment where I think he might ask for more, but he doesn't. He gives a small chuckle. Does sound like a strange dream. But dreams are usually made up random thoughts and feelings mixed together. I wouldn't worry too much about it. We should worry, because he probably kidnapped us or something. I release a breath I didn't know I was holding. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for that, Dr. Anselm. Of course. He gestures to a small tray on the bedside table. Anyway, I brought your breakfast. I hope you're hungry. Oh. I look over and notice a bowl of salmon and rice. Though some of it had spilled onto the tray. His eyes widen in horror as he notices the mess. Oh no, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. I could bring you a fresh one. It won't take long. Before he leaves, I reach out. My hand gently said, "Oh my god, buddy, if you get this flustered from us touching you, oh boy." "No, it's fine, really. What's that smirk, man?" "I want to eat it. It looks delicious." I pick up the spoon and take a bite. The buttery taste of the salmon, like, these foods probably taste amazing, but I just don't like how he keeps drugging us with sleep medication even though we just freaking woke up. The buttery taste of salmon immediately fills my mouth and I smile at him. "See? It's perfect." I say, my words muffled slightly by the food. His face softens, the guilt fading from his face. He watches me for a moment. There's something tender in his gaze that makes my chest warm. "I'm glad you're enjoying it, even if it's not exactly how I planned." After savoring the final spoonful of breakfast, I wipe my mouth and glance at Dr. Anselm, who is busy tidying up the tray. Hey, Dr. Anselm. "Can I go on a short walk? Can I try calling my family?" "No, walk. I just need to change the scenery and stretch my legs a bit." He immediately stops what he was doing and turns to, "I should have probably saved. I'm saving." "I'm afraid you can't do that yet. You're still not fit enough to exert yourself." I furrow my brows slightly. "Not even walking?" I try pushing a little, thinking would it be much effort. His stance doesn't soften. If anything, he seems more resolute. Even walking. The finality in his tone makes it clear that he's not budging on this. "Outside my room?" "Absolutely not. That's not professional, man." Oh. There's a hardness in his expression that catches me off guard. For a brief moment, I felt a small flicker of fear. But quickly as it came, the intensity melts away and his usual gentle demeanor returns. "It's for your own good. Even a short walk can set you back. I need to make sure you're fully recovered before you go exerting yourself." His explanation is calm, but the memory of that sudden shift lingers. Still, I nod, reminding myself that the doctor knows what's best for me. "Very good." The firmness in his voice is now replaced with tone of approval. I sink back into the bed, exhaling softly. But suddenly I'm overwhelmed with a sense of sleepiness. "Like I said, buddy, please stop drugging us. Like, as soon as we wake up, you drug us. As soon as we wake up for dinner, you drug us again. You're basically drugging us every freaking day." How many days has it been? Like 3? Wait, did I just take my medication? Thoughts float hazily in my mind, feeling distant and hard to grasp. I try to focus on Dr. Anselm, but his figure starts to blur. My vision slowly fades at the edges. The room seems to spin. Before I could form a coherent question, I feel the warmth of his hand gently pulling the blanket up over me, tucking me in with gentle care, but it also feels distant. I want to speak, but my body feels heavy, my thoughts scatter. Because he's drugging us. I'm pulled into sleep before I even realize it's happening. I gasp, awake, my breath catching as I sit up. I blink, trying to gather my bearings, my head foggy like I'm still caught in a dream. I sit up slowly, the weight of fatigue still pressing down on me like a heavy blanket. How long was I asleep for? "Good evening, Lilith." I look up, startled. It's Dr. Anselm. I rub my eyes, trying to shake off the grogginess. "Evening?" My voice scratchy, trying to shake the fog from my mind. How long was I asleep for? "Only a few hours. You need the rest, though." "How are you feeling?" I pause, trying to assess myself. Groggy, really groggy. I admit the words slow to form. Why do I feel so tired? I asked myself, my voice a little sharper than I intended. I mean, after breakfast I was exhausted. He doesn't flinch or seem surprised after my breakfast. Instead, he pulls up a chair beside me. The same steady, patient expression that he always has. Fatigue is one of the most challenging symptoms after a brain injury. The brain has to work much harder for compensation for the damage, even for the smallest tasks. It can drain your energy faster than you realize. His explanation is so calm, so reasonable, that I find myself nodding almost automatically. I mean, it does make sense. Of course it makes sense. But why do I still feel unsettled? And here comes the creepy music, oh boy. It's not unusual to feel exhausted out of nowhere in your circumstances. Your brain's basically working overtime as you recover. It's important to listen to it, to give yourself that rest when you need it. I'm nodding, but something inside me is stirring. Something uneasy. My gut's telling me there's more. Something he's not saying, but his eyes, warm and kind, don't falter. He pauses briefly, giving the small cups of pills in his hand a gentle shake. Here we go, it's time for your medication. Okay. Time to save. Oh boy. If we don't take it, he's gonna get pissed off. If we do take it, we might forget our memory. But it's nighttime, and like I said, we could be trapped in this basement. We have no one around us. So if we don't do what he says, we're putting ourselves in danger. But if we don't do what he says, it's just very fine. I take it from him. The pills rolling slightly in the plastic as I tell you know what? Screw it. What would happen if I don't take it? What just happened? No! I overruled the save. Am I able to go back? I was gonna go back there. Oh well. These will help. You've been pushing yourself. Your body needs the support. I nod, lifting the cups to my lips. The pill goes down easy with a sip of water. The taste familiar leaves slight bitterness on my tongue like always. I feel a little more at ease as the fog in my mind starts to clear, if only slightly. Good. Don't worry. I will take care of you, buddy. If my doctor gives me that expression, I won't trust. I'm suing the company. You'll start to feel better soon. There's something always so reassuring about him. His quiet patience. The way he never seems frustrated even when I ask the same questions over and over. It's like he understands without needing me to explain. Thank you. I say softly, sinking back into the bed. The sheets cool against my skin. My eyes are still heavy, but I'm less tense now and more at ease. His presence always seems to have that effect on me. Dr. Anselm stays seated beside me for a moment longer, then he stands slowly, as if not wanting to disturb the calm that settled over the room. If you need anything, just press the call button. I'll always be here for you. Oh my god. Again, with the face man. As the door closes softly behind him, the room feels quieter, but in a peaceful way. Like all the tension has been drained away. I pull the blanket up around me, feeling safe, cared for, and finally ready to rest. Dr. Anselm's words linger in my mind as I close my eyes. I'll always be here for you. With that thought, I let go of the last of my worries and let sleep take over. Trusting that when I wake up, I'll still be in good hands. Apparently that was it. I'm gonna go to the load and see what happens if we say no. Okay, reject the medication. I stared at the small cup of pills in Dr. Anselm's hand. I don't know why, but today, the sight of those pills makes my chest tighten with dread. He's watching me, waiting patiently, but something inside me snaps. No, I'm not taking them. I slapped the cup away from his hands. Oh my, his face. I'm worried. I'm very worried about what's gonna go down. The pills scattered across the floor. What the hell have you been giving me, Dr. Anselm? I feel exhausted all the time. I can barely think straight. And you just keep handing me these pills like it's nothing? These are your prescription medications, Lilith. They help manage your symptoms and reduce the pain. Without them, I don't trust you. How do I know they're not making everything worse? What if you're keeping something from me? Yeah, he kidnapped us. Dr. Ansel looks stunned, but the sadness in his eyes that stand out. It's subtle, just beneath the surface, like he's holding it back, trying to stay composed. I'm not trying to hurt you. The medication's to help you recover. Without it, the pain will come back. I just can't bear to watch you suffer. But I'm not listening. The mistrust that's been festering inside me has reached its boiling point. I'm not taking them. I don't trust you. Dr. Anselm nodded, his face falling just slightly as if my words weigh heavily on him. He looks at me for a long moment, something unspoken in his eyes, an almost unpleading sadness. For a moment, I expect him to argue, to push back, but he doesn't. He sighs, stepping back. I won't force you. He stands holding the now empty cup, his eyes locking with mine. There's no anger in his gaze, just quiet sadness, as though he's trying to remain strong but can't fully hide how deep my rejection has cut him. He turns towards the door, moving slowly, almost reluctantly. As he reaches the doorway, he pushes his hand, resting on the handle. If you change your mind, I'll be right here. His voice soft, but I can hear the pain in it. I'll never stop trying to help you. Then with one final glance, he leaves the room. The door clicks shut behind him, leaving me alone with my racing thoughts and the lingering tension. The room feels colder, emptier. I sit in silence, the air thick with the tension of what just happened. My anger still shimmers beneath the surface, but the moment Dr. Anselm's leaves, doubt creeps in. I know I shouldn't have lashed out like that, but something inside me just couldn't let go of the distrust. With nothing left to do, I let out a long, shaky breath, trying to shake off the exhaustion that still weighs me down. Maybe I just need rest. Maybe everything will feel clearer if I just sleep this off. But almost immediately, a sharp, stabbing pain erupts inside my skull, so intense that it rips a gasp from my throat. The pain is unbearable, instant, and overwhelming. It's almost as if something in my head is crawling, tearing, ripping the break free. I clutch my head in my hand, squeezing hard, as if I could somehow crush the pain away, but it's useless. My vision blurs and darkens, the room twisting and warping around me. I can barely see. I need help. I need to call someone. I reach, but my fingers trembling so bad they feel useless, But my fingers are trembling so bad they feel useless, slipping across the bedside table in desperation. The call button fumbles from my hand, bouncing uselessly onto the floor. I know I have to move. I have to get up before this pain rips me apart. I force myself to stand, stumbling forward like a puppet whose strings have been cut. My legs have gave out beneath me, the world spinning as I fall. The sound is horrible. A wet snapping noise. Ugh, that's disgusting. Noise that reverberates through my body. It's as if something inside me snapped, but I don't know what. My neck? My spine? I hit the floor, crumpling in a heap. Ugh. Ugh. I barely register the sound of someone calling out my name. I can't move. I can't breathe. Please, stay with me, Lilith. Lilith! This is all my fault. Oh my god. Please, Lilith, don't. But I can still hear them barely calling out to me again. Their voice breaking, filled with immense desperation. Oh my god, this is so sad. My head hangs to the side, heavy and limp in their arms. The warmth tightens around me, holding me close, but I'm slipping. And then, complete silence. Okay, so the first option, we trusted him. And the second option, so okay, so he's not. Technically he is a yandere, but like, I don't know what that was. I think we just died. And he got, oh my god, that was like so sad. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and